kind of like where I ended up with Josh. Chip Kelly's offense style, running game, because the running game was a big deal last year, right? Can we get better at the run? What do you think what do you like?
I would say his offense is very explosive. I feel like we're all running off the ball fast. I mean, I can't get too into detail about the scheme, but like I said, I just feel like we're all playing fast under his scheme.
So it feels faster?
Yeah.
Getting off the ball is faster,
yep.
Running, hit the holes would be great. I mean, you got guys that can hit holes.
Yeah, I mean, everyone saw what he did at UCLA. He knows how to create an explosive offense. So if they bring that here, it'll be good. It has been good.
What has Seth brought to this room, and how has he acclimated himself?
Seth has very high character. I mean, he holds himself to our standard and his own standard. And Seth's been doing really good so far. So, yeah, he's been a good addition to the room.
Tegra mentioned his football IQ was very high, and that was pretty evident. Have you noticed that as well? Was that something that kind of came up?
100%, yeah. It's a great point by Tegra. I mean, has like 2 full seasons in the SEC under his belt. So he's seen a lot of different defenses, and he's a very smart dude. I know he has like 2 degrees from Bama or something like that. So he's a really smart dude and definitely knows what he's doing.
What does a successful offseason look like for you individually?
I would say just improving on what I need to improve on, and just kind of competing and doing everything I can to be one of the 5 guys, and just kind of put myself in that spot.
How do you roll, assuming you get through that, how do you then roll that into fall camp, a successful team?
It starts with having a great summer. It starts with getting bigger, faster, and stronger in the summer, and kind of understanding the playbook more as I move into fall camp, and just rolling with that momentum into the season.
You mentioned getting better. What specific things are you looking to get better at in spring?
I'd say just my punching mechanics and kind of just my run game technique.
What are you seeing with Chip being here and Justin, Coach Fry, the dynamic between those two? What do you notice?
Yeah, they have great chemistry from what I've seen so far. I mean, I think they're both really good offensive minds, and they kind of work off each other. So I think they've had really good success with that so far.
Chip obviously has experience, run game, stuff like that. How much does that impact offensive line play with a coordinator who kind of has a background with the rushing attack?
I think it impacts it a lot. I mean, I always want a coach that's going to run the ball, you know. I mean, I like pass run and all that, but if we can run the ball, then we're doing what we're supposed to do up front. So having Coach Shelley behind us with that same mentality is only a good thing for the line.
And there were obviously a big group that came back on the offensive line.
Right.
With that experience, does it feel different than previously, just having as much? And I know guys' spots are still up for grabs and things like that, but does this spring feel different with that much experience?
I'd say, yeah. I mean, my freshman year, I remember like Paris and DeJuan being here and seeing how they operated, and it's kind of a similar thing with dudes that have a lot of experience under their belt and kind of know what to expect going into the season and going into spring ball.
Who are some defensive linemen that when they line up across from you, not that you're scared, but you're like, oh boy, I'm about ready to get into this. Who are some guys that stand out to you in that regard?
I'd say Jack. All of our DNs are really good. But I'd say, so I don't want to snub anyone out, but I'd say Jack and JT are really good. I'd say Caden Curry, he's one of my roommates, and he's gone a lot better. So he's had a really good spring so far.
What's it like, an offensive lineman living with a defensive lineman? Or do you guys get into competitions? Is there some arguments over things on how to do things?
There's definitely some arguments. Yeah, I mean, we'll kind of bicker over certain plays in practice and who won this rep, who won that rep. But at the end of the day, we're all just trying to get each other better and all brothers for it. So
as far as who cooks the meals in the house, though, do you guys get into arguments over that, or who keeps the room, stuff like that?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I'll get a little pissed if I see dishes laid out and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean, no, it's been great living with him. So.
And who are some guys on the defensive line, honestly, that you feel like they're pushing you to get better?
Like I said, Jack, JT, Caden, Kenyatta, Mitch, all those DNs are super, super good. The interior dudes, K-Mac, obviously Tyleek, they've all been giving the O-line a little bit of problems, but yeah. So it's been good competing against them and getting better.
George, do you feel like this is maybe the first offseason where you've kind of pushed yourself into a conversation to be a guy who should be looked at for some playing time? just seems like you're making a little bit of.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah. I mean, it's always like last spring I had the same goal, but I don't think I was there physically and mentally there yet. But I feel like I've taken strides during the season. I got a lot better during the season, during practice, and I've had a good winter to kind of put myself in a good spot to be one of the 5. So.
What I guess in what area, mentally or physically, or what was the bigger uphill battle on this one?
I'd say mentally just getting more plays under my belt and kind of having the game slow down. You know, when you first get here, everything's new, everything's faster. But once you start seeing different defensive formations and kind of recognizing different things that are going on, you can kind of able to play a lot faster. And physically, I've put on a lot of size and strength, my lower and upper body, so it helps me play at this level. So.
Is it harder to be patient now that you feel like you kind of got everything you need to go out there and play, but the team also has its 2 starting tackles back? Like, what's the mindset, I guess, when you put those 2 things together?
I mean, I just gotta just worry about myself and do everything I can to kind of prove myself and the coaches here that I'm one of the 5 that can help this team win. So.